And now, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, from Parker, Arizona, veremos quién es el más macho. Introducing the blue corner, presentando la esquina azul, vestido de dorado con vivos rojos. He steps in wearing gold trimmed in red. He weighed in officially at 136 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 136 libras. Con 16 victorias profesionales, 6 derrotas, un empate y 3 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. He enters the ring with 16 professional victories against 6 losses, 1 bout even, and 3 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Manuel Perez. His opponent across the ring in the red corner. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestido de plateado con color naranja. He steps in wearing silver trimmed in orange. He weighed in at an identical 136 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso idéntico de 136 libras. He enters the ring, an undefeated fighter with 22 victories, 1 bout even, and 12 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Invicto hasta el momento a nivel profesional, con 22 victorias, un empate y 12 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. Representing Lobogón, the Philippines, Mercito, No Mercy Gesta.
Chief second. 1 second over. Okay, gentlemen, went over the rules in the dressing room. Check these trunks. These are good. From here, it's going to be low. Check these trunks. These are good. I'm going to call them low from here. I want you to have a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Let's touch them up and bang at the bell.
And it looks as though Manny Perez's nose is marked up already.
Yep, when it got busted up in that second fight against Brandon Rios. He's had some tough sparring sessions, talked about how hard he's been working for this fight. Said he couldn't be more prepared. He's had 9 weeks to get ready for Gesta. Will it be enough? We'll have to see. Gesta, you talked about at the top of the telecast about trying to live up, and he's not really trying to, but everything's compared to Pacquiao and Donaire. There's some things I see, Rich, that he does very well is that he can throw from all angles. He's got a very big repertoire of punches that can hurt you. Uppercuts, hooks, body punches, right there going downstairs.
Right, well, he's left-handed to start with, so that's the first similarity to Manny. And he will give you angles and some different looks, but not the crazy angles that Pacquiao gives you. I mean, we've actually seen Pacquiao on a number of occasions, and it really, all kidding aside, he winds up behind his opponents, you know. So, I haven't seen that yet with Gesta. And Gesta trying to give some different looks here to Perez. He's going to be ready, I think, for just about anything tonight.
Yeah, he's in the white trunks with the, I guess it's kind of an orange trim, Gesta is, and Perez digging in the body, which we figured he was going inside right there. He'll be right in front of him. Gesta's giving that smile, which tells maybe he did get to his body a little bit there.
Well, that was my first key to victory for Perez tonight, was to get to the body, and I think that's what he has in mind, and I think that's what he's going to try to do. He's a come-forward fighter. Gesta, for his part, can either come forward or go backwards or go side to side. He's the more versatile of the two. But Perez has got to get in there and mix it up. He's going to be better off, he feels, if he has an opportunity to exchange with Gesta.
You can tell that Perez, in the gold trunks with the red trim, he came here tonight knowing what was on the line for him and what he's trying to accomplish. He came out firing right here. You see some of it. He's intense right here in the first round. We're scheduled for 10. This is lightweight action for Parker, Arizona. Gesta responding now.
But it is ironic that as we watch him make these comparisons to Pacquiao, that Gesta tonight is fighting a guy named Manny.
Came in with sort of a lead left there. I think it's been a big plus for Gesta to sign with a top-ranked organization. He gets a lot of support behind him.
Perez right in there as we expected, having a good first round with Gesta. Gesta's a patient fighter.
That's what you were talking about. That's one thing you've been very impressed with, the fact that he doesn't lose his cool. He's going to chop you down if he can.
Right. And as you can see, the pace he sets is not that frenetic Pacquiao type of pace.
Nice right hand that got in there from Gesta.
It's much more measured pace that Gesta fights. And, you know, watching Manny can make you nervous just watching him. The ring gets so frenetic and frenzied.
Well, we saw the development of Manny over the years, and finally when he got to Freddie, he became a more complete fighter, and his defense was somewhat lacking. Gesta's talking about his defense somewhat lacking. I don't think Manny really ever cared about the defense, to tell you the truth. But it pays off as you move up in your career and move up in weight. Closing out round number 1, lightweight division here from Parker, Arizona. Mercito No Mercy Gesta from the Philippines taking on Manny Perez from Denver right here. Round number 2 scheduled for 10.
I thought Perez had a pretty good first round. I gave him that first round based on aggression. In that first round, he got a few shots in there. I think Gesta looks like he's getting down to business a little bit more now here in round number 2. But Perez came out ready to fight. As you said, he knows what this fight means to him now. It's kind of everything for him.
You know, his corner was convinced over there. Steve Mestis, his trainer, was very pleased with his first round from Perez.
Perez lives in Denver, trains at altitude. Used to be a stablemate with the highly regarded comer Mike Alvarado, no longer. Meantime, Gesta is now living and training in San Diego. He used to be up at in Los Angeles and also used to train at Wild Card, but now he's down in San Diego.
He's got an interesting situation as they're getting into it now. Perez is doing what he likes to do, getting in there and banging. Tensely picking up. It's a situation that Gesta was considered one of the best ever young Muay Thai kickboxers in the Philippines. So he brings his trainer over, longtime trainer over, to work with him in San Diego. Then he's got Vince Parra. Then he's got a little input from Wild Card. And so he's comfortable in San Diego there. So there's a lot of Filipinos there and good Filipino barbecue. So he's fine. He keeps in touch.
That's the important thing.
He keeps in touch with his family 7,000 miles away through that thing called Skype. You can actually see the folks and talk to them. So
I love that Skype.
Nice little ripped uppercut that barely missed the mark. Tell you what, Rich, Perez is doing a good job.
I'm not surprised. I'm expecting him to fight this way all night. He's getting close. When he gets close, he unloads his flurry and gets right out of there. Gesta, I think, looks to me like he's still trying to figure out Perez. Still studying him in there and hasn't quite developed the game plan yet.
Gesta got caught on a little counter right there. It wasn't a real hard punch, but he did get caught on a counter. It's kind of surprising. Gesta told us that he knows that Perez is going to be right in front of him. Because Perez admits it too. That's where he has to be. Try to work the body, work inside. You see Gesta looking in. Perez looking straight at the sternum, right at the chest. Not looking at the eyes or the head. He's looking right at the chest because he wants to go to that body. Body doesn't move. Concentrate right there. Center of that body. That's a veteran.
Well, I think so far, that was a good counter right there, though, by Gesta, but
banging away at the body, final seconds of round number 2. Gesta's got his work cut out for him tonight, Rich Morano, I'm telling you.
Because Perez is in there hustling. Fight off to an interesting start. There you see a good ripping right hand. Well, actually, both fighters threw it once, but it was rounds.
As we said, he got a little skip when he was going to the corner. Perez just kind of danced over the corner like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. His corner confirmed and said, look, you got caught a couple of times. Don't let that happen again. Gesta's pace is a little slow to me, Rich. I know you've seen him many, many times. I've seen him a couple of times, but he's just kind of befuddled right now. And Perez is prepared. I got to give all the credit Perez first 2 rounds to him. He's prepared for this fight.
Yeah.
He almost walked into one right there, though.
Gesta still seems to me to be figuring out his opponent. Coming inside, just picking up his movement a little, picking up his punch output a little bit as Gesta, and that's what he's got to do. Perez is the one showing some movement now. A little bit of an adjustment by Manning.
Perez got caught there. I don't know if he wants to do too much bouncing up and down against this guy. Lead left from Gesta.
No shoulders, no shoulders.
Perez admits that fighting left-handers is a bit of an issue. He said he's more comfortable with them now. They started at the beginning of camp, and he said it's a little different, but he had a full camp, a grueling, dedicated camp, he said. So we're going to see the best Manny Perez here tonight that he has to offer. Good test for Gesta.
Once again, Manny Perez is in the gold trunks. Gesta's in the white trunks. Gesta giving a little head feint, a little showboat type thing there, saying, come after me. Wants him to come in. I don't know what that's all about, because Perez is just good enough to hurt you if you get careless.
Well, he might have been a little embarrassed there, so Gesta thought he was going to give it back to him. Give him the business a little, I guess you could say.
Well, this could get interesting. Like I said, this already developing into a very, very interesting workout for Gesta, to say the least. If not, he could be in trouble.
Those punches were all blocked. Good defense there by Gesta.
Gesta's been fighting in one form or another since he was 7 years old. He's born to this. And you have to think that the kickboxing background helps you with footwork. He's got those big, strong legs like Manny Pacquiao has, the big, thick trunks that gives him such a solid base in there.
Sure, now he's unloading some punches. He's getting good leverage into the
good rib shot right there.
Yeah, very nicely done.
That hurt Perez.
Gesta's doing better, much better this round.
He just got caught right there. But, you know, the harder punches are coming from Gesta. But he got Perez with a good rib shot. There's a good right hand using the speed. Holding his hands down low now is Gesta. Almost inviting Perez to come in. I think his confidence level is picked up here in round 2. And Perez goes pouring in. Now Gesta's giving him the business. He's trying to goad Perez. Very interesting turn of events.
Well, the fight's getting, as they say, curiouser and curiouser. As that Perez landed Gesta, who I still think Gesta had his best round of the fight in that round.
Round number 4 scheduled for 10 lightweight division. Perez's corner is very pleased with what they've seen. And that's usually either a smile or some kind of reaction when you get caught a little bit. I think Perez is doing as good as he can do.
And they warned Gesta not to wait too long on Perez to try to get off first. Good combination there from Marcito.
Well, one thing you can say is Gesta by now has felt whatever type of power Perez is bringing to him, and I would be safe to say he doesn't respect it very much.
Well, Perez is not a big power puncher. The few stoppages as he has are not a result really of great power. He's just a banger, you know. I mean, he's a grinder in there. He makes it tough on opponents, and he hopes to grind you down. And I'll tell you, it's no easy task to grind him down. Not when you go the distance with the likes of Brandon Rios and Diego Magdaleno.
Exactly right. Came up short in those. But he's one of those fighters that's just almost there.
Right.
And if you can draw on that experience, he's fought better competition. You could say that for sure than Gesta. It's just a matter of talent. And he's trying to make magic happen tonight. Nice combination right there, and Gesta took it and didn't budge. Matter of fact, Gesta didn't respond at all. It's a very strange fight.
Yeah, I think Gesta needs to start getting off first.
Yep.
I mean, he's...
There you go. As you said it, there came the left right there, and Perez got hurt by that.
Yeah, Perez is feeling it. He's actually almost running away at this point. He felt that one big time.
You're very prescient that way, aren't you, Murata? He needs to do... Oh, they just did it. And it's got Perez's attention now. We're in the 4th round, 1 minute left. Yeah, that lead right was wicked. It took Perez completely out of whatever rhythm he was trying to work up to. Now, Perez will take a lot of punishment. And Gesta's certainly got a lot of pop to deliver. Now, Perez trying to clear the cobwebs now and work back downstairs, back upstairs. But like I'm saying, the difference so far to me, even though Rich Murata gave Gesta, didn't get the first 2 rounds of this fight. It's just a matter of how much Gesta responds to whatever Perez is bringing, and it's not intimidating. Maybe that's why he's being so patient, Rich.
Pretty good right there, though, by Perez. You know, Gesta had the momentum going in this round, and he's kind of held back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm saying this corner was complaining about, holding back too much. Oh, good punches here from both sides. 10 seconds left, round number 4. Entertaining lightweight fight from Arizona so far on Top Rank Live as they go to the 5th.
Best moment of the fight for Mercito Gesta in that lap. Perez on the defense, and he began strolling around the ring for about a good 20 seconds to get away from him.
And that was about 1/2 a second after Rich Murata said Gesta needs to get off first. Now, over in the Perez corner between rounds. What they're asking for as we go to the 5th here in Parker, Arizona, body, body, body shots. Easier said than done. They said they want to forget about the head, get in there and try to get to Gesta's body. Rich, how are they going to do that?
Well, they even jabbed to the body there. So that's a start. They want Perez to stay down low. They tell us, don't get tall in there. Stay down low.
He just walked into a right hand there, Rich. He'll take a lot of punches. We've seen that before.
Well, Gesta is not known. You know, he's not a big one-punch knockout guy. And it takes some work for Gesta to get his... although in recent fights, it seems to me he's developing more power because his punches have been a little sharper and a little bit cleaner. I've seen him scoring some knockdowns with good, clean, crisp, quick, precise type shots.
That was good body work there from Gesta. Just turned this thing around after the 2nd round, I would think. He's in love with that lead left. It landed really solid round 4 and working for him here. He kind of fakes that right hand out there and pops that left over the top of the right glove of Perez. Perez is just trying to work hard now and get hit. He just got caught right there inside with a left and a right. But Perez is coming right back toward him.
Yeah, but he stopped punching momentarily, and Gesta made him pay for that. Perez has got to immediately answer back when he gets hit with flurries like that.
Perez's left eye swelling just a little bit there, and it really put the voltage out in his engine. That's what Gesta can do to you, throw those angles and land the hard punches. Just a wealth of talent. You see Gesta holding those gloves way down like, you can't hurt me. And he knows that by now. He's felt everything Perez is going to bring at him. A nice right hand for Perez, though, Rich.
Yeah, Perez getting his legs back once again, coming forward.
Another right hand.
That's what Perez needs. He needs to be the guy coming forward.
That got to Gesta. You can see when he's blinking his eyes. That one got him. Perez keeps charging forward. Like I said, this man, he knows there's another right hand. He has nothing to lose in there, Rich, Perez. He said, I might as well bring everything I have.
Gesta trying to be the only top-ranked prospect not to lose tonight, because Jose Roman won, Andy Ruiz won, Jose Benavidez won, but Gesta's in a real fight here tonight. He is in a real battle.
Perez working real hard as we close out round number 5 here. It's a matter of will right now as we head to 6. I like to say after 5, how you got it?
I've got Perez ahead by a point after through 5 rounds.
Wow!
And I think this fight is getting better with each succeeding round.
I don't think Gesta expected to be behind on anybody's guard after 5 rounds, but that sounds reasonable to me. Round number 6, Gesta is on the right side of the screen. Manny Perez, the veteran, on the left side of the screen in the gold trunks. Well, now he's right in front of him. Round number 6. And you know, for all the little bit of showboating and the other stuff we saw in round 4, I think Gesta better get serious at this point. He's in there against a tough warrior who's going to get the best out of it. And we figured that today when Perez was talking about his training. 9 weeks of preparation, knowing that, you know, everything he's worked for all his life is right in the ring with him tonight.
Well, he sold me in that 10-round draw with Brandon Rios. I mean, and his face was really beat up. It was all puffy. His eyes were closing. And he just still kept coming forward and still was trading with Rios right up to the end of the 10th round.
Whoa. Got to keep him up there. I got a little low there. I was waiting for the referee to step in on that one. I'm telling you, the intensity, you can feel it out here by the Colorado River in this fight, Rich. This is turning out to be quite a matchup. You can just feel it as it builds.
Well, this has been the year of the upset, and Gesta doesn't want to add his name to that list tonight. Just a few weeks ago, we saw another top-ranked prospect lose, Robert Marroquin, who has, of course, gotten a big build-up the last couple of years as he's come up. And Gesta doesn't want to add his name because there have been a number of big upsets this year in pro boxing.
Closing final minute, round number 6. No one's really taken charge in this one. This round in particular, tough round to score so far. We'll see what happens in the final 57.
Gesta's doing some good body work in this round. Might pay off for him a little bit later on. rounds because Perez is full of energy. Alan, he had such a tremendous training camp.
Yes, he has got it. And of course, he does train at altitude. He lives in Denver, so he's up there in the rare air. Now he's down here at the desert. .21 seconds left, round number 6. Gesta missing with that right hand.
Perez turning boxer.
Yes, he's up on his toes. I was going to mention that a little bit earlier. He's starting to box, which nobody expected. Rounds clicking by now. It's a 10-rounder. We're going to complete 6. Somebody's got to take charge. Mercito Gesta getting all that he wants from Manny Perez. How'd you go in the 6th round, Rich, on your card? That's a tough one to score.
Yeah, I went with Gesta. I've got the fight dead even, 57 all after 6 rounds.
So here we go. We're getting down to the gut jack time, going to the final rounds.
I think
number 7.
I think Gesta's going to use his jab a little bit more in this round. He's going to start off things with the jab. Could be a good punch to keep Perez off. Although it looks to me like he has a chance to use it here, he's just not doing it.
Perez in the last couple of rounds has not been right there in front of him. He's been using more of his footwork and angles. New body work right there. Gesta, is finding out what it's like to when you have to step up in competition and start, earning your reputation. And he's got a guy here tonight that was tailor-made for, making you better. And he's going to have to be better to win this fight.
I don't think Gesta's really found a good rhythm here tonight.
I think that's an excellent point, Rich. I just don't think he's not gotten into a point where he knows exactly what kind of attack he's going to bring and let his hands go a little bit. He's kind of short swinging it.
There's that jab.
There it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Jab, that'll set up his left cross.
Sometimes it takes a little while to figure it out. That certainly looked good. Triple jab, and it came back with a left. There's a right hand again as he got the back. And it all set up off the jab, Rich. Here he comes. Gesta.
Some of the natural ability of Gesta is pouring through, and you're seeing it.
There's that rhythm you were talking about, getting into his rhythm to try to take charge of this fight. Left eye of Perez swelling just a little bit right now, and Gesta, in the last 20 seconds, the best he's looked all night.
Absolutely, really having a terrific round here. And Perez now can't get started.
And he ate those jabs and set it up with the left, coming across. And Gesta's got his confidence up, blood now coming to the nose of Perez. Turned into one of those deals for Perez. Gesta just loading up now. Sitting down in those punches and saying, here I come. Gesta almost looking like he wants to close it out in the 7th. Bang, body shot.
This is the Gesta we've been hearing about, seeing, and what fans have been waiting to see here tonight. He's letting loose.
Letting those hands go and coming from all different angles. The fighter that I saw when I studied him before this fight, in the videos that I saw, this is the kid I was impressed with. Maybe he was patient enough to wait for the right time to do it, Rich. He had a guy well-conditioned in there, was giving him a lot of trouble, and now he's taking charge. Perez landing one right at the end here, trying to fight back, but Gesta not hurt. Interesting turn of events in round number 7. Gesta came out and fought like the guy that we heard about, showing what he can do. Perez got swarmed there in that final minute and may have been the turning point in the fight. We'll see what Perez has left. Now, in the Perez corner, they were claiming that Gesta was gassed. I don't think so.
I think that was a psychological ploy, but you're right. That's what they're telling. I think Vince Parra was telling Gesta the same thing in that corner. Vince Parra, son of boxing vet Norman Bumpy Parra.
Good work right there from Perez. Just doesn't have enough pop to match up. He's one of those just good enough fighters. Gesta trying to work in behind the jab here in round number 8.
Well, you make a good point, Alan. Power's a great thing to have, and when you don't have it, you've got to overcome that disadvantage in certain ways. And the way we talked about even in our keys to victory was for him to out-hustle and do it with volume punching tonight. his opponent Gesta.
There's some of the volume punching you were talking about. We got that in the first 2 rounds. But there's such a price to pay for that when you get inside all the time. And you got a guy that's a sharpshooter like Gesta can be.
Right on the line.
And it seems to me like he should be able to sharpshoot Perez here at this juncture, not only with the lead punches, but with counters.
In there, no shoulders.
Perez certainly has a lot of heart, and he's given Gesta as much as he can give him tonight. That's all you expect a fighter to do, is give it everything he has, and we've seen that from Perez. Now, as for Gesta, he's not exactly following up on what he did the latter part of round number 7 here. He's sort of trying to pick away, and I don't think he really has to at this point. I think he just works behind that jab, like Rada said, and start throwing some punches. He could really slow Perez down to the point he may be able to get him out of there. I don't think he anticipated going the distance with this guy tonight. Trying to walk his way in, watch his footwork, trying to walk his way in, close the distance.
Yeah, but if you're going to walk a man down, you've got to punch when you get in there.
Exactly.
He's doing a lot of posing here, and he never got a punch. He's walking him down. He got to throw.
See how he's moving in, Rich, and not throwing? It's like he's waiting to be countered.
Well, I think he's trying to lure Perez into a mistake. He's holding his right hand down low, hoping that he can counter, make Perez miss, and then counter.
I don't know. Very strange round 8 to me for Gesta. Coming off an interesting round 7. Just very odd. Final seconds ticking around in round number 8. News coming in, I believe Rich Murata has this fight even.
Yeah, I don't think you need to call a press conference about it.
Yeah, but who would have expected after 8 rounds, honestly, Rich? But you'd have it even, and I wouldn't be surprised if the judges do too.
Well, as you said, it was curious the way Gesta, in that last round, he just was very hesitant.
Now Perez feeling a little more confident that he may perhaps got let off the hook in round number 8, going out there and working that body, and I'm sure his corners told him, hey, you might be in this thing, so let it go, buddy. You worked this far, you got through 8 rounds, so people may have it even, and if you can just find a way, you might walk out of here with a huge upset tonight. Just 2 rounds to go. Even though his corner incorrectly told him after 7 rounds there were 2 rounds to go. I heard that over there, but sometimes they play with the fighter and don't let him know really how much longer they've got to go. 154 ticking down, round number 9.
And Perez's face puffing up. Now, the way that it did in that fight with Brandon Rios, especially his left eye. Gesta looks to me to be in control of the ring.
Coming in there, watch your head.
You know, just with ring generalship and dictating here the style of the fight in this round. That was amateurish.
And what's he doing? Yeah, Perez made him pay for it. I mean, what is he doing with that right hand? I mean, he's just telegraphing, come over here, and I'll try to counter with the left. But he needs to pick it up.
Gesta getting a little too cute in here, but nonetheless, I think he feels like he's in charge at this point.
Banging away, Perez banging the body. You talk about aggression in your talking points before the show. And that's what you need, that busy fighter. Perez, look at him banging away to the body. Gesta not coming back with anything. Has Gesta got in his mind, Rich, that he can knock him out with 1 punch? You mentioned he doesn't have that normally type of ability. He has to kind of chop you down. But Perez, let me tell you what, 9 weeks of training, you're seeing it right here, folks. This guy came in here as prepared as he could be to bring as much skill as he can bring to the equation. Gesta got him on the end of that punch right there. But Perez has been the aggressor here in round 9, I would think.
I'm just judging Gesta's body language, the look on his face and everything, and he seems to me to be a guy who just thinks that he's in charge.
Well, he may not be when the cards come out if this thing goes to D. He looks confident, but he's getting hit. Weight matchup tonight between Manny Perez in the gold trunks with red trim And Mercito, No Mercy Gesta in the white trunks with the sort of orange trim. And I don't think anybody expected it, but I think Perez and his corner certainly respected it. I was eavesdropping, Rich, as I sometimes do in the Perez corner. They were telling him to go out and let it all out and go for a knockout, which I don't know. Now Gesta's stepping it up here, taking charge, and showing the aggression we haven't seen since round number 7.
Right, he comes out here immediately to take command.
They're going to war, Rich, in this round. Here we go.
Well, I know this about Perez. He's not going to back down.
Got Gesta on the ropes right there, where more or less Gesta chose to be, and steps around. 2 minutes left in this fight.
Gesta got off to a big start in this round, first 30 seconds. That's not enough to carry him to victory in the round yet, though.
Blood dripping down the nose of Perez, which is not unusual. He usually gets banged up pretty good around the face. I think Rich has made a good point throughout most of this fight. Gesta has acted like a fighter who has assumed that he is pitching a shutout, and he's really not.
Well, we've got a number of close rounds. I would say about 6 or 7 of the rounds you could make a case for either fighter, actually, Alan. When you have that, you sometimes have wildly divergent scorecards, and much of it depends on how a judge likes to see a fighter fight, whether he counts a lot toward aggression or whether he accounts a lot for a ring generalship.
109 left in this fight here at the BlueWater Resort and Casino, the amphitheater here in Parker, Arizona, right by the beautiful Colorado River. And this has been quite a matchup in our featured bout tonight. 54 seconds left. Perez, not as much talent, but certainly equal in heart, laying it all out there tonight as he said he would against the favored fighter, Gesta, the Filipino who came in with some sensational performances coming in, but he's just faced a worker tonight.
I tell you, he's a grinder. Manny is a gamer. There's no doubt about that. And Gesta, I think, is having a big 10th round.
And Manny's saying, bring it on. 26 seconds left. Here's a guy who knows his whole boxing future could turn. Gesta's got that sarcastic grin on his face. And Perez may be scoring some points here. I don't know if sarcasm's going to get it done at this point as he walks away in the final seconds of this fight. Gesta's going backwards, Rich. We may have an interesting judge situation on our hands here. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Gonna be interesting. Perez puts his hand in the air to say, and his corner picks him up to say, look what I did. I gave everything I had. I did what I wanted to do tonight. Pitching Gesta to the distance. I don't know if they're all that pleased over the Gesta corner, to tell you the truth.
That was a tough fight, and I think you have 2 corners here, both of which think they won the fight.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, we're anxiously awaiting what the judges here in Arizona come up with. So don't go away. We'll be back to that. On top, give us the decision. And I don't have a clue, but we'll find out when we get to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the scorecard reads as follows. Damas y caballeros, después de 10 vueltas, esta es la decisión oficial. Judges Flores and Wilson scored about identically at 98 to 92. Los jueces Flores y Wilson entregan tarjetas idénticas de 98 a 92. El juez Valenzuela anotó 99 a 91. Judge Valenzuela scores it 99 to 91. For the winner, by way of unanimous decision, para el ganador por decisión unánime, Mercito.
Body a little bit there.
Well, that was my first key to victory for Perez tonight, was to get to the body, and I think that's what he has in mind, and I think that's what he's going to try to do. He's a come-forward fighter. Gesta, for his part, can either come forward or go backwards or go side to side. He's the more versatile of the two. But Perez has got to get in there and mix it up. He's going to be better off, he feels, if he has an opportunity to exchange with Gesta.
You can tell that Perez, in the gold trunks with the red trim, he came here tonight knowing what was on the line for him and what he's trying to accomplish. He came out firing right here. You see some of it. He's intense right here in the first round. We're scheduled for 10. This is lightweight action from Parker, Arizona. And Gesta responding now.
But it is ironic that as we watch him make these comparisons to Pacquiao, that Gesta tonight is fighting a guy named Manny.
They were sort of a lead left there. I think it's been a big plus for Gesta to sign with a top-ranked organization. He gets a lot of support behind him.
Perez right in there as we expected, having a good first round with Gesta.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, from Parker, Arizona, veremos quién es el más macho. Introducing the blue corner, presentando la esquina azul, vestido de dorado con vivos rojos. He steps in wearing gold trimmed in red. He weighed in officially at 136 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 136 libras. Con 16 victorias profesionales, 6 derrotas, un empate y 3 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. He enters the ring with 16 professional victories against 6 losses, 1 bout even, and 3 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Manny Manuel Perez. His opponent across the ring in the red corner. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestido de plateado con color naranja. He steps in wearing silver trimmed in orange. He weighed in at identical 136 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso idéntico de 136 libras.
Gesta's a patient fighter.
That's what you were talking about. That's one thing you've been very impressed with, the fact that he doesn't lose his cool. He's going to chop you down if he can.
Right. And as you can see, the pace he sets is not that frenetic Pacquiao type of pace.
Nice right hand that got in there from Gesta.
It's much more measured pace that Gesta fights. And, you know, watching Manny can make you nervous just watching him. The ring gets so frenetic and frenzied.
Well, we saw the development of Manny over the years, and finally when he got to Freddie, he became a more complete fighter, and his defense was somewhat lacking. Gesta's talking about his defense somewhat lacking. I don't think Manny really ever cared about the defense, to tell you the truth. But it pays off as you move up in your career and move up in weight. Closing out round number 1, lightweight division here from Parker, Arizona. Mercito No Mercy Gesta from the Philippines, taking on Manny Perez from Denver right here. Round number 2 scheduled for 10.
I thought Perez had a pretty good first round. I gave him that first round.
Said he couldn't be more prepared. He's had 9 weeks to get ready for Gesta. Will it be enough? We'll have to see. Gesta, you know, he talked about at the top of the telecast about trying to live up, and he's not really trying to, but you know, everything's compared to Pacquiao and Donaire. There's some things I see, Rich, that he does very well is that he can throw from all angles. He's got a very big repertoire of punches that can hurt you. Uppercuts, hooks, body punches, right there going downstairs.
Right, well, he's left-handed to start with, so that's the first similarity to Manny. And he will give you angles and some different looks, but not the crazy angles that Pacquiao gives you. I mean, we've actually seen Pacquiao on a number of occasions, and it really, all kidding aside, he winds up behind his opponents, you know. So, I haven't seen that yet with Gesta. And Gesta trying to give some different looks here to Perez. He's going to be ready, I think, for just about anything tonight.
Yeah, he's in the white trunks with the, I guess it's kind of an orange trim, Gesta is, and Perez digging in the body, which we figured he was going inside right there. He'll be right in front of him. Gesta's giving that smile, which tells maybe he did get to his body.
He enters the ring, an undefeated fighter with 22 victories, 1 bout even, and 12 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Invicto hasta el momento a nivel profesional, con 22 victorias, un empate y 12 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. Representing Lobogón, the Philippines, Mercito No Mercy Gesta.
Chief second. 1 second over. Okay, gentlemen, went over the rules in the dressing room. Check these trunks. These are good. From here, it's going to be low. Check these trunks. These are good. I'm going to call them low from here. I want you to have a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Let's touch them up and bang at the bell.
And it looks as though Manny Perez's nose is marked up already.
Yep, when it got busted up, And that second fight against Brandon Rios. He's had some tough sparring sessions, talked about how hard he's been working for this fight.